Alrighty, so here goes week number 2 from Project Diary. So as you may remember, from my Project Diary for week 1, I had now gotten one other person to work with me. Unfortunately, she was a vocalist, but that was fine. We were gonna work around that. So for the next week, it was like this human fell out of the sky, and so there was a new kid. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. There was a new kid, and he was, is a guitar player, and we became friends with him, myself and Chloe, the other vocalist for this group. We became friends with him and kind of explained our situation, that we are 2 vocalists and we kind of need an instrumentalist. Not really thinking that he would want to join, because he apparently was already in a different group, but that was totally fine. It was just like conversation type of thing, and he was quite prompt to want to help us out, and he was like, "Oh, well, you don't have anyone to work with, so I will work on this with you," and that was perfect, really, because in acoustic pop you do need an acoustic instrument, and he did play one, so that was absolutely perfect. Firstly, he was gonna work with us only on the acoustic pop track, but then as time developed, he decided that he wanted to work on us with us on the bedroom pop song as well, even though he's working on another track with another group, which is a heavy metal song. But we accepted. We were in need, so we did accept, and we've been working on those 2 songs. So during week 2, one of George, the guitar player for our group, one of his friends and band members for the other group, he booked a room for them to work on their song. However, he made the slight mistake of booking a room without any amps, which you can't really work with if you're making a metal track. So that was quite unfortunate for them. But one man's trash is another man's gain. I don't know how the saying goes, but you know what I mean. And so George asked Jack if we, the acoustic pop group, could still use that room, since they weren't going to be able to work on our track instead, or the room would have just gone to waste, really. Jack promptly agreed, and we went to work on the song. However, it was just me and George on that day, because Chloe wasn't going to be able to stay after school, so we decided on just catching her up on what we had worked on that day on some other time. So what we did end up doing that session was we figured out a chord sequence for the song. I was like playing something on the piano, and he was playing on the guitar, and I guess I kind of gave him an idea, or he got an idea, and he figured out a chord sequence that I really liked, and I thought that I could work with, and I thought Chloe would be comfortable with that as well. So we wrote it down, and we've stuck with it ever since, really. Just a couple tweaks, but the root remained the same, and we got to know each other more, because obviously we had essentially just met, and we were working on a project together. But I feel like to write a song with someone else, I've never really done it before, but that's how I felt in the moment, that you kind of need to know them at least a little bit. So we did have a couple of conversations, found some common ground, and within that common ground, we got a couple ideas for lyrics. So that was, the conversation wasn't a complete waste. Let's just say of our time in terms of working on a project. So yeah, that's what we mainly did that week. We did catch up Chloe on it, and she did really like what we had discussed in that little session. So we've stuck with it. And what we decided was that since someone had to take charge of the project so it didn't go everywhere, essentially, I would be writing the lyrics for the acoustic pop song, and Chloe would be writing the lyrics for the bedroom pop song. So what that would really mean is that I would be more in control, for lack of a better word, of the acoustic pop, and the same went for Chloe on the bedroom pop song. And I mean, George would be equal in both, um, equally working in both songs, not putting him underneath anything like that, but just different roles. So yeah, that's what was decided, and yeah, that's week 2.